Today, I am proud to announce that for the first time ever, Pennsylvania is an automatic voter registration state. That's right. From now on, when you get or renew your driver's license or an ID card at the DMV, you'll be registered to vote unless you choose not to. Look, this is common sense. You already provide proof of identity, residency, age, and citizenship at the DMV. All the information you need to register to vote. We're making our state government work better for the good people of Pennsylvania. No matter who you choose to vote for or what your views are, I hope you'll make your voice heard.
Josh Shapiro out in Pennsylvania is doing things. As you saw, automatic voter registration is what's now been kicked in. Sounds pretty good. Sounds like very American. It sounds like you're there for the voters, for the American people, because we're the country of freedom and representation of the people. So there's absolutely no problem with this, right? Before we get to where the problems actually are, let's look at this map to see how Pennsylvania, what other states they have joined to with automatic voter registration. They're the 24th state to do this. We're almost halfway there. The gray states are obviously the ones that have not enacted this type of situation, and you can tell which kinds of states those happen to be. Do they not like democracy? Who knows? Let's go to some of the political impacts of this, because this is why some folks are pushing back. Although Pennsylvania flipped blue in 2020 without automatic voter registration, Drexel University political science professor William Rosenberg says that AVR could still be seen as a disadvantage to Republicans. Really? Because when it becomes easier and easier to vote, it's to the disadvantage of Republican candidates, because that means there's likely to be more turnout, particularly among Democrats that might be somewhat disadvantaged by the prior restrictions that are also in place. We already know Republicans are fighting against voter registration laws and actually acts that they put forward to actually expand voter access. They do not want people voting. Wish I remember to put this in, because from like 1981, that's when I was only 1 year old. In 1981, I believe around early 80s, Paul Weyrich, big guy in the Republican Party, was talking about how he doesn't want people to vote. The more people that vote, the more Republicans lose. I want little to no people voting. Then we can control it better. If you think that's just something from the 80s, keep looking at the way they're responding to this. The Libertarian Party of Pennsylvania had this reaction. It said, making it easier for uninterested, uninformed people to wield political power will inevitably lead to terrible political choices. I'm gonna read that one more time, and I want you to put in your head the MAGA folks that are standing outside of Trump rallies. Making it easier for uninterested, uninformed people to wield political power will inevitably lead to terrible political choices. It expands the pool of citizens to conscript into jury duty and gives more votes to harvest. So outside of just giving access to people to vote, somehow it provides for more voter harvesting that they still haven't proven is happening in a widespread way either. Critics will say that this makes the vote less secure, as he's pointing out there. But actually, when you are confronted with reality, you see that that's BS. Because Jesse Allen is a law professor at the University of Pittsburgh, noted that automatic voter registration would improve this accuracy of voting rolls. Voter records are already often linked to motor vehicles because they want people to be accurate. So in this way, for example, if somebody changes addresses or gets married and changes their name or goes and gets a new driver's license, it would automatically update the voting record and make it more accurate. And Ray, that is the problem. It'd be a lot harder for Republicans before they lose a race when they're saying, I'm gonna lose because they're cheating. They already can't prove it in the first place. But even more so, they'd say, well, we really can't prove it because the voter rolls are updated. We can't say that this person is voting for a dead person, because it's all stays standard with those driver's licenses, which we know are very hardcore about being up to date and being accurate. They find it out all the time. And if it's connected to it, there's a lot less chance for them to fool people into thinking that there's cheating going on. What's your thoughts?
Well, first of all, very libertarian to argue against, enfranchisement of everybody. Very pro individual liberties, that you only want, well-educated rich people to be able to vote. Fascinating insight into the libertarian mind there. I live in an automatic voter registration state. It rocks, not having to constantly, make sure that if I just go to the DMV, if I update my driver's license, then it's done. I don't have to worry about going through the process of changing my voter registration, and then inevitably on voting day, if I forgot to do it, having to run around and go to a different precinct because I'm not able to vote at the one I'm at. It is very telling that the Republican Party sees widespread enfranchisement, things that make it easier for individuals to vote, as a negative, because they know that it hurts them. When more people are able to vote, they know that it hurts them. It's why so many Republicans on record have said things along the lines of, without the Electoral College, we'd never win another national election ever again. Because it's true, because they don't have popular ideas, because the people who live in like big cities typically do not vote for Republicans. Most people don't vote for Republicans. Most people in this country don't support their policies or their party. So when more people are able to vote, particularly people who come from historically disenfranchised communities, are able to have easier access to voting, it spells bad news for the Republican Party.
Think about the folks who run around on election days looking for, to tie up loose ends or something isn't accurate or on some kind of thing. Who talks about it the most as if it's a big problem? Are conservatives, and they say, look what they're cheating, they're doing this, they're doing that. It gives some credence to that. If that gets eliminated, their argument for losing is taken away. At least one more of them it is, even though the rest of them are also BS as well.
For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.